Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping right into something that confuses a lot of people, American small talk. You know, outsiders often describe it as this strange ritual, maybe even superficial.
It definitely seems that way sometimes, but I think that feeling, that idea of it being superficial, it really only happens if you're stuck on the literal meaning of the words.
Right. You missed the point entirely.
Totally. So our mission today for you listening is to hand you the decoder ring for this whole unwritten language. We really need to shift focus from what people are saying.
To why they're saying it, the intent behind it all.
Exactly. That's the key.
I think that's the big puzzle here. You know, when someone asks, "How are you?" But they're like already walking away, it can feel a bit dismissive, maybe.
Oh, for sure. But the thing is, and our sources really back this up, this kind of interaction, it's not about getting a deep personal update.
Not at all.
No. It's more like a highly developed social technology. Think of American small talk as social sonar.
Social sonar. I like that.
Yeah, it's this low effort, really smooth way to just ping your surroundings, you know? Set up a friendly baseline. It helps a society that's always moving, lots of casual interactions, just function.
So it's like oil in the social gears.
Precisely. It's social lubricant, first and foremost.
Okay, so if it's this developed technology, like you said, it can't just be random chatter about nothing. There must be reasons, right? Cultural foundation.
Absolutely deliberate, not random at all. It's really driven by, let's say, 4 core American values. Once you grasp these, the whole talking about nothing thing starts to make sense.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, the primacy of a positive atmosphere. Small talk is designed to create this light, easy, non-confrontational space between people.
A buffer zone?
Exactly. Bringing up heavy stuff, personal problems, politics, that's seen as like polluting the shared social air. That's why the weather is so popular.
Ah, okay. It's safe, neutral ground, everyone experiences it.
Right. It requires zero emotional heavy lifting. So the superficiality, it protects that shared positive vibe.
Got it. What's number 2?
Efficiency. This might sound counterintuitive, but this kind of quick small talk, it's like a high-speed conversational handshake.
Okay. How so?
Well, you use this quick low-stakes ritual to rapidly gauge the other person's mood. Are they stressed? Open to chatting before you launch into something more substantial?
Like asking for a favor or starting a real business discussion.
Exactly. So it seems like aimless chat, but it actually paves the way for getting down to business faster if that initial ping comes back positive.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What's third?
This one's maybe the biggest reason for the nothingness aspect, individualism and the sanctity of privacy. American culture puts a huge premium on personal space, personal boundaries.
Right, don't pry.
Precisely. So the superficial nature of small talk is a direct result of respecting that. Casual acquaintances, people you just met, they don't automatically get access to your private life.
Your health, your finances, your family drama.
Exactly. Even if someone asks a direct question that feels a bit personal in that context, the expectation is that the answer will stay pretty general, pretty positive.
So when I hear, "How was your weekend?"
Yeah.
It's not an open invitation for me to complain about my terrible Saturday.
Definitely not. The question itself is framed to respect your privacy, assuming the answer will be something easily shared, something public domain friendly.
Oversharing is like stepping over a line.
A big social foul, yeah. And the last foundation is friendliness as a default setting. Basically, friendliness is the assumed starting point in casual interactions. Small talk is just the verbal proof of that.
It confirms you're not a threat. You're open to basic interaction.
You got it. It shows you're playing by the expected rules of engagement.
Okay, this is really helpful. It sets the stage perfectly for the fun part. Decoding those phrases that always seem to trip people up.
The scripts.
Yes. If we agree most of small talk is about the intent, not the literal words, let's break down the big ones. We absolutely have to start with the classic, the most common one. How are you?
Right. The classic opener. And if you're not used to it, you might hear, please provide a detailed and truthful report on your current condition.
Yeah, give me the real story.
But the actual intent is incredibly simple. It's just, hello.
That's it.
Pretty much. Hello. I see you. I'm acknowledging you in a friendly way. This is our little social ritual. It's like a verbal nod and smile.
A quick transaction to confirm positive connection.
Exactly. And if you're the one receiving the how are you, there's a script for responding, too.
Absolutely. You have to play your part, acknowledge, state things are generally okay, and then immediately return the serve.
Correct. The standard reply is always some version of good, fine, maybe great. And crucially, you follow it immediately with, "How are you?" or "And you."
I'm good, how are you? It's almost automatic.
It is. And here's the big warning. If you break that pattern, if you actually unload real negativity, "Oh man, my commute was awful and my back hurts," you create this social static.
Jarring is the word our sources used.
Yes, socially jarring. It's awkward because you've just dumped emotional information onto someone who wasn't expecting it, who didn't sign up for it in that specific micro-exchange.
So even if I am having a terrible day, the socially correct move is still probably, fine, thanks, how are you? Maybe with a slightly less enthusiastic tone.
Pretty much. It's a performance in a way, a performance of being socially okay, ready to engage politely.
And that performance is expected.
It really is.
Okay, let's tackle the next one. This one, I think, genuinely drives people from other cultures a bit nuts. The non-invitation.
Ah, yes. We should get coffee sometime.
Exactly. Why? Why do Americans say this, make these vague plans, often with zero intention of following through? It seems inefficient, insincere even.
Okay, yeah. From the outside, it totally looks that way. But that phrase, "we should get coffee sometime," is almost purely aspirational goodwill.
Aspirational goodwill.
Yeah. The real intent is something like, "Hey, I enjoyed talking to you. I feel positive about this interaction, and I want to signal that before we part ways." It's like a verbal placeholder.
A placeholder for good feelings, not actual coffee.
Mostly, yes. It confirms a wish for future connection, maybe, but it's definitely not a concrete promise of making it happen.
But hang on, for a culture that values efficiency, like you said earlier, especially in, say, business, doesn't that vagueness feel weird? Like, why not just say, nice talking to you?
That's a great point, and that's exactly where the cultural clash happens. For the American speaker, that vagueness is the point. It's a way to be warm and positive without creating a definite obligation.
Ah, so it's polite hedging.
Exactly. You're maximizing the positive social feeling while minimizing actual commitment. It feels softer, less demanding than a direct goodbye.
Okay, so how do you tell the difference? How do you know if let's grab lunch is real or just friendly noise? Is there a litmus test?
Yes, absolutely. The key is specificity. Look for concrete details.
Like time and place.
Exactly. The non-invitation is always vague. Sometime, soon, we should. A real invitation has specifics. Are you free next Tuesday around 1.0 for lunch? Maybe that new place on Elm Street?
If they're reaching for their calendar, it's probably real.
That's a good sign, yeah. If it's just a general concept of future coffee floating out there, it's likely pleasant filler.
And the right way to respond to the filler.
Match the vagueness. Don't try to pin them down.
Don't say, okay, how about Tuesday at 10?
Please don't. Yeah, just reply with something equally light and non-committal. Yeah, that would be great. Or, for sure, let's do that.
So you accept the positive vibe, but don't force the issue.
Precisely. If you push for specifics on a vague offer, you corner them. They either have to commit to something they didn't mean or awkwardly backtrack, which kills the positive feeling they were trying to create. Just take the express goodwill and move on.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's hit the last key script. The graceful exit. This is that polite little move. We'll let you go.
Ah, yes. This one is quite clever, socially speaking.
It sounds so generous, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm doing you a favor by leaving.
Exactly. It's a masterstroke of politeness. The speaker actually wants or needs to end the conversation. But instead of saying the potentially abrupt truth, like, okay, I need to leave now, or I'm done talking.
Which can sound a bit rude.
Right. They frame it as an act of consideration for the other person. I'll let you go, as if you were being held captive by their fascinating conversation.
Flips the script. The person who wants to leave becomes the generous one.
Totally. It's a neat little inversion that preserves politeness.
So the appropriate response is just to accept the gift.
Yep. Accept their generosity. You just mirror the politeness back. Okay, sounds good. Or, all right, great chatting with you.
You too. Take care.
Perfect. And crucially, understand that's the closing signal. The conversation formula is complete. Don't try to launch into a new topic once "I'll let you go" has been deployed.
The door has been politely closed.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the scripts, the basic moves. Now, what about the danger zones, the conversational minefields? What topics just kill that positive, neutral vibe we talked about?
Right, the things that violate those core principles. There are definitely taboo topics for casual small talk. You can actually use a little acronym for the big ones. MAPS.
Okay, what does that stand for?
M is for money. Finances are considered very private, very personal.
So don't ask how much someone earns.
Definitely not. Or how much their house cost or their car. And generally avoid complaining about your own money troubles too, unless you know someone very well. Just makes things awkward.
Got it. M is money. What's A?
A is for age and appearance. Asking someone's age directly is usually off limits in casual chat. Same goes for commenting on weight or changes in appearance unless it's a clear, simple compliment.
Like nice scarf is okay, but maybe not have you lost weight.
Exactly. Keep compliments general and non-personal. I like your coat is safer than commenting on their body.
Okay. M, money. A, age, appearance. P.
P is for politics. This is a big one. It's just seen as too divisive, too likely to spark disagreement or negativity. It instantly violates that keep it light and positive rule.
Save it for people you know well and trust.
Absolutely. And finally, S is for spirituality and religion. Like politics, is considered deeply personal, potentially sensitive, and not really suitable for light public sphere conversation.
So MAPS, money, age, appearance, politics, spirituality, religion. Keep clear of those.
As a general rule for casual small talk, yes. The guiding principle is always keep it light, keep it positive, keep it focused on external, shareable things.
Okay, so keeping it light is the entry fee. But what if you actually want to connect? You've done the ritual, but you sense there might be potential for a real conversation. How do you bridge that gap from small talk to maybe big talk?
That's the advanced skill. It really comes down to listening carefully during the small talk phase. You need to listen for the hooks.
Hooks?
Yeah. Remember how we said the standard small talk answer is brief, generic, positive? Like weekend was fine.
Right.
Well, sometimes people will voluntarily drop a specific little detail into that safe answer. That detail is the hook. It's like they're giving you subtle permission to ask more about that one specific thing.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say you ask, how was your weekend? The safe, conversation-ending answer is, it was good, pretty relaxing. No hook there.
Okay.
But what if they say, it was pretty good. I actually went hiking up at Bear Mountain. That bit hiking up at Bear Mountain, that's the hook.
They offered a concrete detail.
Exactly. They opened the door just a crack on a safe, neutral topic they chose. They've handed you something specific and non-personal to follow up on.
So the right move isn't to ignore it, but to ask about the hook.
Yes. An open-ended question about the hook shows you were listening and are interested, but respectfully. Something like, oh, nice. How was Bear Mountain? Or how are the trails up there?
You're signaling you want to move past the ritual, but you're letting them lead.
Precisely. You're still respecting their privacy. Prying for details they haven't volunteered, like asking who they went with or if they argued with their hiking partner that's still crossing the line. Follow the hook they offered.
And it's probably important to remember the delivery matters here too, right? That enthusiasm.
Oh, absolutely. That high degree of, let's call it performed enthusiasm is crucial. The smiling, the upbeat tone, using positive words like, awesome, that's great. It's all part of signaling positive intent and keeping the energy light. You kind of have to match that energy.
Right. It's part of the performance of social goodwill. I remember our sources mentioned this can vary a bit by region, too.
It definitely does. That's an important nuance. You'll find differences. For example, the Midwestern style often really leans into that sustained, warm enthusiasm. Conversations might meander a bit more.
And other places.
We'll contrast that with, say, New York City. There, efficiency is often prized. Small talk might be quicker, more direct, maybe immediately leading into the reason for the interaction. Still polite, usually, but faster.
Less meandering.
Less meandering. And then you've got Southern styles, which can be, a bit slower pace, maybe incorporate slightly more personal touches, but always wrapped in layers of politeness. The key is to try and read the room, match the general tempo and energy level you're encountering.
So you need the decoder ring, but also need to calibrate it based on where you are.
That's a good way to put it. Okay.
So bringing this all together.
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for someone trying to navigate this?
It means that American small talk isn't just meaningless noise. It's actually this invisible but very functional structure. It's an architecture designed for social harmony.
Built on those pillars of privacy and optimism.
Exactly. Respect for privacy and an expectation of shared positivity. And decoding it. It's really just about learning to translate. Swap the literal meaning for the social intent.
So how are you? Basically means hello.
Right. And we should get coffee sometime. Usually means I enjoyed this chat and I'll let you go. Is essentially goodbye.
The words are like code for the underlying social moves.
They really are. And the final thought for you, the listener, the learner. Understanding these rules isn't about being fake or insincere. Not at all.
That's important.
It really is. It's more about learning the steps to a specific cultural dance. Once you know the steps, you don't feel awkward or clumsy anymore. You can move with grace, you can navigate interactions confidently, and you stop feeling offended by things that aren't meant to be offensive.
You gain fluency in that social language.
Exactly. Fluency and confidence.
That distinction feels key, following the rules versus being insincere. Which brings us to maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. This whole system, as we've discussed, kind of runs on an unspoken agreement, an assumption of shared positive intent.
Interesting point.
So when you engage in this ritual, maybe ask yourself,
Hmm.
what positive assumptions are you projecting onto the other person? And maybe more interestingly, what might they be misunderstanding about your cultural signals if you, say, break the script? If you give a truly honest, detailed answer to, how are you?
Right. What happens in that gap between your internal reality and the expected public ritual?
Exactly. Something to think about the next time you find yourself talking about the weather.